All right, today we're going to tackle something huge, quitting smoking the easy way. We're diving into Alan Carr's famous method, and the whole idea is to completely flip how you think about it. We're not talking about some painful sacrifice. No, this is about a joyful escape from a trap.
So, let's just get right to it. Why is it so incredibly difficult to quit smoking? I mean, for anyone who smokes, just the thought of stopping can bring on this wave of actual panic, right? It feels like you're losing a part of yourself, maybe even a friend. But here's the kicker. What if that very feeling, what if that's the trap?
Okay, so here's the core concept, the big idea behind all of this. Smoking, it's not just some bad habit you picked up. No, it's way more sinister. Think of it like a perfectly designed trap, and its only purpose is to keep you stuck in it for life. And the key to getting out? First, you have to understand exactly how that trap works.
You know, we always beat ourselves up about it, right? I just don't have the willpower. But that's not the real problem. The real problem is we don't understand what nicotine addiction actually is. It's this sneaky thing that creates this empty, antsy feeling inside you. It's literally a craving for a poison. And here's the craziest part. Each cigarette you smoke doesn't give you anything, it just temporarily stops the uncomfortable feeling that the previous one caused.
Now get this, because this is a really critical point. Think back to that first cigarette. It was disgusting, right? It tasted awful, made you cough, maybe even felt a little sick. And because it was so nasty, your brain did something really logical. It thought, whew, there is no way I could ever get addicted to this stuff. And boom, that false sense of security, that's the trapdoor swinging shut.
So that leads us perfectly into the first huge myth we need to bust, the one that keeps that trap locked tight. And that's the belief that smoking actually gives you some kind of real pleasure. I mean, we've all been conditioned to believe it, but when you really look at it, does that idea even make sense?
Just take a look at this. Let's compare smoking to something that's an actual pleasure, like eating. Eating, it keeps us alive, it can be a genuinely amazing experience, and it satisfies a real, natural hunger. Now, look at smoking. It does the exact opposite in every single category. It shortens your life, you're literally inhaling poisonous fumes, and it only gets rid of a craving that it put there in the first place. So see, it's not a pleasure at all. It's just hitting the pause button on a discomfort that never had to be there.
Alan Carr had this perfect analogy for it. He said it's like wearing shoes that are way too tight all day long just so you can experience that brief moment of relief when you finally take them off. I mean, how ridiculous is that? That's exactly what smoking is. The pleasure is nothing more than a quick break from an irritation you're causing yourself.
Okay, let's move on to the big one, the biggest myth of them all. The idea that cigarettes help you relax and deal with stress. The reality, and you gotta get your head around this, is that smoking doesn't relieve your stress, it's one of the main causes of it in your life.
And it all comes down to this vicious cycle. Here's how it works. After you finish a cigarette, your body starts to want more nicotine, right? The withdrawal kicks in, and that creates this feeling, this constant low-grade agitation. It's a type of anxiety that non-smokers just don't have. So then, you light up another cigarette to get your fix. The craving goes away for a little while, and your brain makes a huge mistake. It thinks, wow, that cigarette really calmed me down. But all it actually did was feed the little nicotine monster that the last cigarette created. And this is so important to understand. A smoker's normal, everyday level of stress is just fundamentally higher than a non-smoker's because of that constant withdrawal. So the cigarette doesn't actually bring you some special relaxation. It just temporarily brings you back up to the level of calm that non-smokers get to live in all the time.
So, all of this brings us to the biggest fear, doesn't it? The reason most people don't even try. We believe that quitting is going to be absolute torture, weeks, maybe months of pure misery. But that fear only exists because most people are using the wrong method. Let's look at the two completely different ways to approach this.
First up, you've got what Carr calls the willpower method. This is basically any method that makes you feel like you are giving up something valuable. You know the drill. You just grit your teeth, try to power through, and all the while you feel deprived, miserable, maybe even a little jealous when you see other people smoking. That feeling of sacrifice, that's the torture. It's not the nicotine withdrawal.
But then there's the easy way, and it's a total 180. It's a complete shift in how you see things. This isn't about willpower at all. It's about understanding. The entire goal is to realize deep down that you're giving up absolutely nothing of value. And once you genuinely get that, once you see there's no sacrifice, the whole feeling of being tortured just vanishes.
So that brings us to the million-dollar question, the one that changes the whole game. Let's think about it. If smoking isn't a genuine pleasure, and it doesn't really help with stress, and we know it destroys your health and costs a small fortune, what exactly are you giving up when you quit?
The answer, and this is the simple, beautiful truth of it all, is absolutely nothing. You are sacrificing zero. You are giving up nothing. You're not losing a crutch, you're dropping a chain. You're not losing a friend, you're escaping a con artist. And when you finally see that, I mean really see it, that's what makes this whole thing easy.
And hey, if you need a little more convincing that you're not making a sacrifice, just look at what you gain. Take this number, for example. That's a pretty conservative guess at what the average smoker spends in a lifetime. Think about that. You're not giving that money up, you are getting it back. It's like a massive cash bonus for finally breaking out of prison. Okay, so we've busted the myths, we understand the trap. So what are the actual steps? What's the way out? Well, it's actually incredibly simple. There are really only two final instructions. Number one, you make a decision, a final one. You decide that you're never going to smoke again. Not, I'll give it a shot, but I have smoked my last cigarette, period. And number two, and this is just as important, don't mope around feeling sorry for yourself. You rejoice, you celebrate. You should feel absolutely ecstatic, like you've just been cured of a terminal illness, because in a way you have. And this is what you're celebrating. It's not about loss, it's about what you gain back. Your confidence, your courage, real freedom from that slavery. You get to stop that feeling of hating yourself for smoking. You get your energy back, your health back. You're not giving anything up. You're getting your entire life back.
Let's finish on this thought. The real goal here isn't just to not smoke anymore. It's to get to a place where the thought of lighting a cigarette seems completely bizarre, almost ridiculous, to not feel like you're missing out, but to feel this incredible, deep sense of freedom. And the amazing part is, with this shift in your mindset, that feeling of freedom can start the very second you decide you're done for good.